I was aboard a Coast Guard rescue cutter. An hour before, these sunlit waters had been all fogged in. 2 destroyers had collided off San Clemente head on. We'd reached the collision scene now and came about for a closer look. It was a major disaster. There'd been many casualties. How many, we didn't know yet. The skipper ordered the cutter alongside. The second destroyer had been hit hard, too. It was the worst lash-up that I'd seen in peacetime. Lieutenant Dave Tully agreed with me. Dave's job was to help keep the losses to a minimum by speedy rescue work. My job seemed to be just standing by. Soon, though, I found something active to do. One crewman, at least, needed my personal help. Had been in the ocean a long time, and he'd swallowed a lot of it, too. But they make him tough in Uncle Sam's Navy. He was able to get up the ladder almost by himself.
Nice retrieve, Mike. Well, that's about cleaned up. Emergency's over, but I'm afraid the trouble's just beginning.
How did it happen? You any idea?
Not a notion. I know the captain of one of those destroyers, Mike. Commander Ben White. I served with him in the South Pacific. Believe me, he's a good seaman. This just doesn't figure.
Howard.
How you doing, son? Doing fine, sir.
Any idea what happened out there?
It was the radar. What? Did something go wrong with the equipment?
No, sir. More like interference. Like the radar had been jammed.
Jammed? That's pretty far-fetched.
I know, sir, but that's what happened. We picked up light scatter. A lot of blips. Just added up to interference. I know it sounds batty, sir, but that's what happened.
When the Naval Board of Inquiry met here, they didn't buy the radar man's story. To them, all the evidence proved that Dave Tully's friend, Commander Ben White, was guilty of negligence.
Negligent? With a record like Ben's?
Dave, the Board of Inquiry just didn't have any choice. They had to go by the facts. Now listen, there's still hope. The investigation isn't completely over.
Yeah, they recess for a week. Then Ben can kiss off 10 years of his life. Hello, Ben.
Dave.
Commander White, Mike Nelson. Commander.
Oh, yes. Dave told me. Pleasure, Mike. I came down here to blow a whistle on you fellas. This idea of yours, you just
We can
can't...
shove off right now, Ben. Mike's gonna make an underwater search of the collision area.
Well, I appreciate it, but search for what? Commander Haynes and I both reported radar failure. Now, the board had our radar sets checked and found nothing wrong. And I was the captain who did the ramming, so I've got no excuses.
Oh, but you might have an explanation.
Like what? A major shift in the magnetic North Pole all the way from the Arctic down to here? No, Mike.
Well, as a matter of fact, a violent electromagnetic disturbance could do a thing like that.
Well, possibly, but caused by what?
That's what I'd like to try to find out.
Yeah, Admiral Bedford flies all the way in from Pearl Harbor to give me some support. Dave here organizes an underwater search, and then you're gonna...
It's your big blue eyes. We want to help you. Will you let us?
Well, all right. I just happen to have the chart here with me. Right here. I circled the spot where we collided.
The collision area was one well-traveled circle, all right. Everything from rowboats to battle wagons had picked it as the spot to dump metal. And my detector device kept finding it. I hadn't spotted anything yet, though. I was even remotely able to jam a radar set. And in the past half hour, I'd covered close to an acre of submarine real estate. At the rate I was going, I'd be out of diving time pretty soon. No, I could chance another 10 minutes. There had to be something down here. I believed in Commander White now darn near as much as Dave did. It was certainly worth one more good try, anyway. My detector didn't have much trouble picking up this bit of metal. A discarded marine boiler, the size of a bungalow. No telling how long it had been down here. There was a manhole in the roof that looked big enough for me and my tank, so I decided to drop in for a visit. It was more than a motel for fish, that was for sure. The boiler was loaded with electronic equipment. It was waterproofed expertly and very securely. The equipment was protected in another way, too. Those wires led to a booby trap, or I'd been down so long that I was starting to see things. It was a booby trap. The instant I picked it up, it started ticking. I had armed it, the way you arm a hand grenade by pulling the pin. I had no time now to figure out how to turn it off. I couldn't risk blasting the apparatus. All I could do was to get the bomb away from there. After that, I had to get myself away from the bomb. Explosives down below! Pulled out, but fast. And Dave Tully kept on moving at the same speed. He recruited Dr. Neil Martin, an electronics expert and diver. And as soon as we thought it was safe, Martin and I headed down at that mysterious boiler again. I handed him the testing equipment that I brought down for him. Seems I'd guessed right about what this setup had been placed here to do.
How's it going?
Well, you better ask the expert there. I just handed him the tools.
Got it figured out, Dr. Martin?
Yes. It's clearly designed to generate high-frequency emissions. I'd say it very definitely is capable of jamming radar.
Well, how about that, Ben?
And I think it should clear you of any blame. Your radar was jammed.
Well, that's tremendous. The underwater cavalry to the rescue. Thanks, Mike.
So now the question is, who set up that little electronic ambush down there, huh?
Well, we might never know. See, that thing's operated by a radio signal. And that signal could be broadcast from a plane, a boat, on the shore. Anything, anywhere.
Pretty hard to get a fix on it, too.
Yeah, you're right. An activating signal of that kind lasts only a few seconds. That's not long enough to do any good.
Well, then how does the saboteur know the thing's working?
Well, that's simple. The mechanism signals back. Gives him an all clear, so to speak. If it didn't radio back, he'd know that the apparatus was out of order. It's very clever. Well, we'll dismantle it, study it. It won't happen again.
Once was too often.
What do you mean, dismantle it? You mean it's still in operating condition?
Sure, we just examined it. No need to take it apart until we're ready to move it all back to the lab.
Now, wait a minute. You said if the apparatus didn't respond to the radio signal, that the saboteur would know it was out of order, right?
That's right.
Okay. So, he signals, there's no answer, it's out of order. What do you think he'll do then?
I don't follow you.
I'm with you, Mike. In fact, I'm ahead of you.
Sure. We'll follow up the radio, and as soon as he finds out that it's not answering, he'll come looking for the trouble. We'll give him some.
Oh, you can't take a chance like that.
Well, you got any other ideas?
No.
Neither have I. Don't worry about me, I'll be all right.
I was worried about the equipment.
I'll see. Well, don't. I won't give him time to damage the equipment. When I spot anybody, I'll send him a signal.
I'll get to the Admiral. The Navy will want to nail this down.
This next trip, Dr. Martin and I liberated the radio set. That meant the apparatus would no longer respond to a checkout signal from the characters who had been running it by remote control. In the meantime, Dave Tully and Commander White were lining up the ambush topside. When we'd spring it, though, it wasn't up to us. It was up to the enemy. And they played for keeps. We had removed the radio, the key piece in the underwater setup that had wrecked 2 American destroyers by jamming their radar. The next move was up to the saboteurs who built the jammer. And they couldn't make it too soon to suit me.
Well, the monitoring equipment's all set up and forward.
All we need is patience and a lot of luck.
You can see that.
Dr. Martin switched on the monitor set. But nothing happened. No one could tell just how long it might be before the saboteurs decided to send a checkout signal again, and to investigate when their radio didn't answer back.
Hey, how do you make this stuff, Lieutenant Tully? By boiling ink?
Yeah, ink, a little reclaimed engine grease, and then for the
Yeah, I
final
know.
test-
You stick in a spoon. If it stands up by itself, it's strong enough, huh?
No, that's Navy. You see, we like ours with a little more bite. Cookie sticks in a spoon, he stirs. When the spoon melts,
Yeah, I believe it.
Hey, it's 15:40. Almost 2 hours we've been waiting there.
I may have to wait for 2 days. Now, maybe by then I'll get to like this battery acid. Sending a coded signal.
Sounds a little unhappy about not getting an answer. Well, that's the whistle that starts the old ball game.
My first couple of trips downstairs were just routine. I didn't expect trouble for quite a while, but I had to keep checking. One problem I couldn't lose sight of was air. I had to conserve it. So I spent most of the next hour topside. The ocean looked just as empty up here, too. But unless something had gone terribly wrong, it wasn't. And let me tell you that was the main reason I didn't worry too much about going down again, even knowing that I might have to face a team of killers. Because I also knew that just over the horizon, Dave Tully was standing by, waiting for my radio signal.
What if they come in force, looking for trouble?
they'll find it. We're just a scout boat, keeping a lookout. Commander White's headed up with naval operations. When Mike releases that signal, we go.
Nobody had stolen the boiler. It was still there. Company was coming, I could see, on power scooters. Unfortunately, my guests also saw me. It was time to call the fleet. I released the marker, but I had underestimated the opposition. One of them punctured the marker balloon. Without that signal, there went the ball game for my team. Unless I could get past them, that is, and send up a smoke bomb. But the scooter boys had other ideas. The one they seemed to like best was trying to pin me against the boiler and puncture me like the balloon. They missed. I dodged one, kicked the other, and gained myself a precious head start before they could regroup and follow me. I raced for the coral, hoping to lose them there. It was only a dim hope, considering the odds.
18 minutes to rendezvous. It's holding them up.
Well, we've no guarantees anyone's ever coming.
Does that receiver work?
Now, relax, it's all set up.
trying to outfox these hounds was they seemed to know the terrain as well or better than I did. I holed up in a little canyon in the coral. They took their time coming after me. Why hurry? They figured that even if one missed, the other was bound to nail me.
10 minutes more. That's close enough. I'm pulling the string. All engines ahead full. Radio man, tell operations we're going in.
They had me bottled up now, all right. They also knew that I'd have to make a break for it sooner or later. What they didn't know was when and how. So when I made my move, it carried me past the one who was waiting for me with a knife at the far end of the canyon. The knife bit made me want to even up the odds a little. I grabbed up a weapon that could do a lot more damage than any blade. A piece of razor-sharp coral. It didn't give me the reach that I wanted, and he almost got past my guard. But that razor edge must have scared him into carelessness. I was able to get in close and wrestle the knife out of his hand. Then, with the coral, I chopped his arrows to ribbons. That put Scooter Boy number 1 out of business. He left his transportation behind. That gave me a way of handling his partner on my terms. I spotted Scooter Boy number 2. He waved at me cordially. The Joker thought I was his buddy. I had to hit him fast before he found out different. When I looked around, I saw Dave Tully's cutter racing in. And I was going to make sure that Dave saw me.
Right full rudder. Get him below. Nice work, Mike. The 40-footer pulled in a man with a ruined air hose. You must have had a busy time down there.
I wasn't idle, huh? Let's put it that way.
Is the equipment all right?
They didn't get anywhere near it. They were too busy chasing me.
The Navy nailed a sport fishing boat. That's where your divers came from. Well, let's go home. All engines ahead, started. Left full rudder. There's no question about Ben White's acquittal now, Mike. I don't know how to thank you.
Well, I know how you can.
Yeah?
Tell your boys to draw me a nice hot shot, huh? Hello there. I'm Lloyd Bridges. You know, 3/5 of the world is covered by the sea. And how little most of us know about that underwater world. Go below with us again next week, huh? For another thrilling adventure in Sea Hunt.